Right, good morning. So here is another video. I hope it becomes a little bit clearer. I don't know why it's now oh, there we go, sorted. Okay, so Romeo and Juliet, one of the options for the CAPS curriculum of South Africa for the grade 10s. This is the character sketch, going to go through the characters, their symbols, how they relate to one another. Obviously, there will be spoilers, because in explaining certain characters and symbols, I will then also be going through parts of the story. Secondly, there will be another video where I actually go through different acts and scenes of the particular story. So I will have that as well. So yeah, you will notice that I just had to cross out something there by Benfolio. And the reason was I was busy doing Merchant of Venice as well, and suddenly Bassanio and Benfolio became the same person. So let us start with the prince and his fancy hat. And one of his family members is Mercutio. Mercutio is depicted by the symbol of theatre, the happy and the sad mask. He is the comic relief, and upon his death, the reader and the audience would then be able to see that things are now coming to a head and also becoming more serious and a downward spiral. Mercutio is friends to Romeo and Benfolio. Then the other family member of the prince is Paris. He is a suitor for Juliet. He is keen on marrying her. Has many conversations with Capulet about this, and I've depicted him having a flower because Lady Capulet says that Verona's summer hath not such a flower seen. So apparently he is quite the catch, eligible bachelor, very handsome. Then we've got Romeo and Juliet in the middle. Romeo I have depicted with a snowflake and a flame. And the reason for that is he uses a lot of oxymorons when talking about love, and particularly his love for Rosaline. Obviously, it's the idea of love. He's read Petrarchan poetry, so Shakespeare is also having a little bit of a go here at your traditional, conventional love poems, and he uses it to describe his emotional roller coaster of feelings. He talks about bright smoke and a cold fire and things like that. So next to him is Juliet. I've given her wings. In Baz Luhrmann's film adaptation for the fancy dress, she dresses up as an angel, but Romeo also refers to her as a bright angel. Then we've got the nurse with the typical long veil headdress that women would wear if they went out and about in the marketplace and the towns and things like that. And she raised Juliet since she was born. And there's also a reference that Mercutio and the others make to the nurse when they see her, and this particularly long veil. They say, a sail, a sail. So they're almost commenting that she's a ship and her veil is a sail. Her servant is Peter. So he comes often into the picture, and obviously he's the servant of the nurse, comes and goes, fetches, carries, etc. Then underneath the nurse we have Tybalt, and I've depicted him with cat's ears and whiskers and a sword. He is quite bloodthirsty. In today's terms, we would call him trigger happy. And he is Juliet's cousin. He is Lady Capulet's nephew. And Mercutio refers to him as a rat catcher and the prince of cats. And when he fights him, he says, I just want one of your 9 lives. So that is Tybalt. And he causes quite a serious predicament in the story that obviously, according to fate and fortune, has a hand in the unhappy ending. Next to them is Capulet and Lady Capulet. Their daughter is Juliet. Lady Capulet herself shares the bloodthirstiness, because later on in the play she wants to send a hitman to Mantua, where Romeo has been banished, in order to take him out. So, yeah, it definitely seems to run in the family. Then we've got Capulet, just plain ordinary stickman. I would say that also his attitude towards his daughter um, has a lot to do with the ending, because he only pays attention to her. He's only um, complimentary of her because he thinks that she's going to do what he says, and when she does do what he says. Very different, I feel, to Montague and Lady Montague. I feel like there is a far more genuine concern and relationship that they have with Romeo. And that is seen with Romeo actually writing a letter to his father to explain his actions. Um, Lady Montague actually dies later on in the play, because of grief when Romeo is banished. So you definitely see that there's far more of a connection. Then you've got Montague's nephew, who is Benfolio, also Romeo's friend, and he is depicted with the little dove and the olive branch, so peace. In the beginning of the play, he wants to keep the peace. Later on, he several times is the person to explain what happened, what was going on, etc. So he is a peacekeeper, very different to Tybalt. Big contrast there. Then we've got Palthazar, and he is a servant to Romeo, and he's the one who actually jumps the gun and lets Romeo know that Juliet is dead. Of course, he doesn't know about the letter, he doesn't know about the potion, he doesn't know about the plan. And yeah, I think unknowingly he also has a hand in the unhappy ending. But again, one of the major themes is fate and fortune. Okay, they were star-crossed lovers. If they were going to get together, it would end badly, and he just is a part to play. Then we've got Friar Lawrence, an older man, a priest, and he's got the little potion bottle that he gives Juliet to drink the night before her wedding. And yeah, really, really dubious plans and advice and all of that, especially later on in the play regarding Juliet. It does seem that he had some wisdom, because it's mentioned that he told Romeo that he was doting on Rosaline, it wasn't true love, that he should give it up, which makes sense. But obviously later on, I think in his desperation, he made some very, very bad decisions. Mercutio I've gone over, and that is pretty much it. So yeah, when you see the video later on about the actual story itself, then it'll make a bit more sense with the characters and their depictions. Okay, thank you very much.